What's up, folks? It is I, Zyre Extortius, Zyre X, whatever. We're getting down for some KI action tonight. It's Friday. It's a new day. It's about to be a new day here. About an hour and 15. And we're going to get down to some Thunder It. Hope you fellas are doing well. It's been a rather, I'm going to say interesting, not challenging day, but within the extent of, within the concept of interesting, it was definitely some challenges to it. But we are here, and let's play some games. First, before anything, let me try just kind of pushing some buttons. Just to kind of get a feel for playing the video game, as they say. It's a little weird at the moment. I guess that's never a new thing. Feels better than other days. I tried fixing some stuff and even updating my controller and stuff like that, but this might come down to either something with the controller or the cable potentially. I don't know why the hell my thing does that, but I'm gonna have to fix it at some point. It's funny, if you do, on KI, if you do Zangief's 360, the command grab still works. It's kind of weird. I've been playing some Street Fighter and I've noticed that. Actually, maybe I should play some Street Fighter. I get my ass kicked on there pretty well. Oh my god. I hate that it does that and I can't do. I hate that it keeps trying to swap out windows when I do that. I guess I can't. damn, it's gonna be I think like 50 something tomorrow supposedly. I don't know about with wind chill, but Sunday it's supposed to be 60. That's insane. I guess it sort of makes sense considering technically we're still in winter, but you know, we're about a month away from the spring, so. But it's interesting nonetheless to have spring-like weather when it's still technically like midwinter. Or, sorry. Yeah, basically like 60% of the way through winter. Very interesting. Oh yeah.
Your path ends here. Supreme victory.
Playing like a bot. Bot play. No defense, just bot play. Like it. Stand still. Bottery. Botastic. Yeah, you can break those, it's okay. Okay. He's brave enough to jump in front of me. Guessing. Gotcha. Breaking under the pressure of just playing in such a fashion that's just meant to be annoying in every regard. That shit will only get you so far. Using the threat of DP or random jump in to like just jumping incessantly, it's gonna get you punished. But I like it. It's a clean effort after all. They're trying. Can't blame them for trying, I guess. It's good to have a different approach to things overall, is what I'm trying to say. But clearly that's going to work in a specific bracket of players that's a little less familiar with the game. Picking up on things like Black Fulgore, bot play, or I don't know, a few other people that play like bots. There you go, that shadow won't work. Nice. I like it. Jumping. Interesting. I missed my button on the command grab. I could have punished that. I was cloning the controller at that point because I accidentally dropped it between her legs. Nice. There we go. The seed has been planted. I do notice they're willing to jump quite a bit, which is making it easy to just either anti-air, dash through that, and then just kind of go for that. Like, I think people at some point forget that, like, much like Shadow Meter, which is a resource, my life is also a resource. Granted, yes, it's the thing that allows me to keep fighting, but I will use that health bar as a resource the entire time, baby. You are not going to deter me from anti-airing you or trying to anti-air you or dashing through you or being up close to you. Like, more than anything, like, people think, oh, he doesn't want to be close to me or I'm getting away from him. But it's like, I'll play the far away game or the close game, you know? But I don't care about how much of a lead you have. The only way that really matters is if it's a zone-heavy character. But in a matchup where both characters primarily excel at hand-to-hand combat, it's mostly negligible. At some point, a breakthrough can in fact be made through fireballs. I don't need to stay on top of your face. Here, you can actually take this. Actually, don't worry about that. You can take this one. I was gonna clean it up myself. It's fine. It's not a big deal. All right, thank you. Oh yeah, I forgot. He likes his lights. Lights on jumpers. All the magic coming out. Yep, nice. Still playing like a bot, but it's fine. It worked out that time.
Ends here.
Wait, what? Oh no, I took it earlier. Yeah. Jumping. I could have blocked. I was hitting DP. Oddly enough, that doesn't cover that, but I guess my medium punch came up before anything. I heard the sound.
Yo, yo.
You didn't need to do all of that. You already had the meter. That's good. He spent the meter right there. Shadow countering or gust breaking? I'm pretty sure that was a gust break. But planting the seed if I'm going to do something after that. Try to lock him down with buttons. Like, I saw the meter. And I had the lead. I had very little reason to go in at that moment. I could have taken probably 3 to 4 short combos, if not, or sorry, 2 to 3 combos with opportunities to break. And depending on how long the combos are, usually that person does seem to go for long combos most of the time. I'm just playing around what they're doing, because honestly, there's really no need to be aggressive at any point. I do notice that they mash a lot of life. mediums. Very rarely, there's usually a medium in there, but I don't care if he breaks those. Smashing. Force him to use the meter. Keep breaking that, baby. Oh yeah. Frustration. Anger. Those were frustration breaks. Those were all like, you notice after that counter breaker he started breaking more? Just trying to do stuff. Total frustration. He saw me plant the seed, I'm willing to counter break, and he did it again, thinking, oh, I'm gonna deter him because I didn't break that time. And he didn't make it count. He didn't punish me properly or enough to like warrant me not doing it again. This would be the only person in rank right now. Holy shit. doesn't give a shit about that, bro. Doesn't give a fuck about that DP. Boom. Coast him into coming through, into approaching. He decided to not throw fireballs, decided to walk into the range of that, got hit. Going in when it mattered the most. In that situation, it's like, well, it's that impasse, right? Like, you have to do something. And there's also a buildup of frustration that I can already tell in the sense. from like previous matches. There's a level of frustration that ends up building. It's so afraid to do anything. Oh, it hit me before I was able to do my swing. Okay. It's a projectile. It's still going. Damn, just barely missed that kneecap. I'm not presenting some options here because, well, for one, I'm forgetting them, but also it doesn't set a precedent. So I feel like I don't need to present those options in order to, from what they're doing. Oh, yeah. That was a good call. Okay, it's gonna pretty much give him the lead, but no more instinct for him, and I get it. Oh yeah, you're dead. Yeah, Olympic was presenting a few options that I wasn't doing before, and they fell for that, or they fell to that. It's like I know the way that you end up figuring out like specific players or things like that. Like at some point you just like, oh okay, I'm not presenting this, and they're clearly not looking out for it. So willing to do just about anything and everything, but quite still unsure. Meanwhile, I kept presenting those options that were failing at one point as well. He's afraid to step in. There you go. Good boy. Sit down.
Yo, yo.
It's quite a difference when you play from defensive to like playing aggressive, and then that midpoint, that balance. This looks like almost like they're using like what's it called? Combo assist? It looks like they're using combo assist. Can punish that. There you go. I don't think he can kill off this, but I might be wrong. Oh yeah, now he can kill off this.
I'm afraid your path ends here.
Let me see. I'll wait for this. There is... Damn. That's cheap. Okay, I'm gonna try something here. I just want to see what happens. You definitely tell some things that are going through their minds, like they're like, oh fuck. You plant so many seeds and eventually they fall to those things, right? This is frustration with having planet. Wind kick of all things. Hey, I like that stuff. They're willing to sit on the ground, which is why exactly, like, I've caught him with command grabs in some of those situations before. No instinct pop to get his health back. Instinct popping, excuse me. It feels like I have to follow like a very one-track mind strategy for this stuff. Because they keep doing the exact same thing that I can punish. Every time. And I'm trying like something different thinking they're gonna do something different and this doesn't work. Oh yeah, he loves his lights. Jumping this time. Not jumping that time. Anger breaks too, because I'm just doing heavy. Yeah, they break under the pressure of I'm losing this at this point. So they're that kind of person. Where they let the frustration get to them and they're just like making questionable decisions like charging in. They get caught up too much in the moment, it seems. Like, I think one of the important things to remember is that you have to, at some point, think of the bigger picture. Like, in a moment of downtime, you have to sit there and realize, what is this situation right now? What is actually happening? Why is the deficit at this point? And also, even when you're succeeding as well, but more so often, you have to be completely aware of it when you're failing. And sort of give yourself, like, in due time, you will be able to think the same way where you, like, know that one leg comes after the other when you're riding a bike. You have to, like, think of these situations, force yourself to think of these situations in the moment. And when you're riding a bike, you realize that one foot has to go, you know, and the other one follows, right? So eventually it'll become just second nature to think of that situation. And at first it might flood your brain with fuck, like there's so many decisions, and you know, all these things that like you have to take into account, from what you can do to what your opponent can do to where you can defeat what, to maybe where you can force your opponent to make a decision that they don't necessarily feel like doing because they feel uncomfortable, that sort of thing. And that's not something that you get with playing a person a few times. That's something that you understand over the course of time of playing a person consistently. And even if you happen to run into a character that's, you know, the same character that some of your harder opponents use, you still have to remember that at the end of the day, there's a character expression, right? Like expressing yourself and making certain that within the context of that, you look out for similar situations about what a specific person does, and also the specific options that are potentially the best options for that character, or maybe some awkward things that you're just like, Jesus, um, this isn't quite working out the way I remember, you know. What's up, Randy? How's it going, man? Long time no see. Should have known the fucking gas break was coming. This matchup is extremely boring because like Thunder doesn't have to do anything. Like you can choose to be aggressive and like John Charles? I have. I think I've seen it before, yeah. He's extremely good across the board. You know, I can't really speak to that because, like, I think when I've played them, I think they use like Jago and Cinder, and oh, you know what, Arbiter. That's the one character that they could really like beat me with, and then for a long time. And then I started looking at the matchup a little bit closer, and not to mention like playing like some of the top 70 percenters of the KI community. Like maybe like Wolf Slayer Ninja, things like that. But yeah, I haven't seen too many of the or him use like an insane amount of the cast. And I believe if they did, they were usually like, I don't know, like I feel like because there's two like sides to the coin. There's not many Thunders, and also like there's, you know, a specific person that plays how they play the character, you know, taking advantage of situations or forcing good situations. But I haven't seen them in a long time, though. That's the thing. It's been a long time. Dude beat me with Aghanos. I never lose to Aghanos no matter who's playing. Come to think of it, I don't... Like, I know that you use Jago. I know that when I've used Jago, I mean, granted, I don't use Jago like that. I feel like that matchup is pretty tough. But it's also like lack of experience. I know for Thunder, it can be extremely tough at times. But I don't think... If I faced him with Aghanos, they probably didn't really know what they were doing at the time, I'm assuming. Maybe they've been practicing with Aghanos. That could be the thing. Main Jago, my pocket character is Shago. I feel like Shago would have a better time than Jago, to be honest with you. I mean, they both have fireballs, and they're both capable with their fireballs, but, like, Aghanos has things that beat those things out. Yep. Always trying to go for that little cheeky shadow. Undercooking is Futile versus Aggie. Only thing Shago really has at his disposal is teleporting pizza cutter. Well, yeah, but like he can do like multiple fireballs that'll knock out multiple chunks, right? Like that's what I'm saying. Like yeah, Jago has the ability to do that too. But the teleport, dashing around. The thing, like this is me speaking from like general ignorance when it comes to that matchup. It feels like shit. To me, it does. But it'd be like it has to do with comfortability, right? It'd be like I would much rather suffer with Thunder versus Aganos than use Jago. Right, and like the AAs or things like that doesn't really matter. Or sorry, the pizza cutter doesn't really matter if he just hits, what is it, standing light punch or whatever, forward light punch, and it just AAs the shit out of you, and then you're in for it. Like at that point, you're just like, well, shit. I got punished for punishing them, sort of deal. And the same thing happens for like Thunder, like. There's very, I wouldn't say strict, but there's a timing to like, after he does Stomp, there's actually a gap, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, where you can, or if it's far enough, the projectile that comes out when he does Stomp, for example, like I can do Shadow Ankle Slice to punish that, and obviously that gets rid of the chunks if he has any. Obviously Shadow DP. And if he does the heavy punch from across the screen, I can just react with, or even, I want to say that even up close, or like medium range to like, or like footsie range. If he does, I mean, I don't know any Aganos that does that. Maybe, I'm not quite sure the situation. Maybe if I'm just hitting like a normal or something, but like situations like footsie range, he does punch. I can regular command grab him out of that. Funny enough, and Shadow Command Grab obviously beats that too. And then if I do Shadow Triplax, I end up getting, that one hit of armor, which will not only beat out, especially since I'm reacting afterwards, I'm gonna get hit first. And it wouldn't matter. Actually, in that situation, I'm not even sure if it matters. Yeah, it doesn't matter if I get first or after. The only way that it matters first is if it's before my armor activates, but like I have situations where Thunder definitely wins. I can punish his standing heavy punch that goes across the screen with like crouching heavy punch or even standing heavy punch, things like that. The thing is that those hits don't get rid of the chunks, at least not to my understanding. And if I do like DP or something like that, like yeah, it gets rid of the chunk, but I still get hit. That matchup is just kind of like terrible for some characters when that character's played at its sweatiest, right? There's ways around it, but you have to work for it. Thunder depends too much on the, especially in this current day, like the current meta of like breaking, the way breaking is working right now in the current state of things. um, and yeah, you can reset with Thunder, but the thing is that like you have to get the read on the jump out, and then you have to, you know, and if they got chunks, you're limited to what you can do because he'll just hit a button back, and all of a sudden he's back in it. It's kind of crazy. Gets a meter for the impending cat. I keep blocks and clotheslines right through it. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Quite the option to just sit there and do busted though. I didn't think that was gonna kill. It looked a little. I don't even know what the percentage was. Let me see. I gotta check the percentage was on that. I just recorded it. Man, I wish you could make this thing full screen whenever you're watching clips on the Xbox record that feature or whatever. %, yeah. It was 64%. Was this counter hit too? Oh, yeah. That counter hit into combo breaker. Yeah, that. The stomp, which is the end of the shadow move, is actually what killed. So yeah, that was perfect. Cause like, yeah, if they break the stomp, I can actually just kill them, or try to break the stomp. Interesting. Ricky, what are you working, or are you at home drinking, fucking having a good time? Breaking the stomp? You don't break no stomps. You're not breaking people's necks with stomps, are you? This is what this is called. Oh no, wait, this isn't it. Nitro Express. I have tequila at home drinking, but I'm supposed to be saving this tequila for me and my girlfriend tomorrow. Looks like I gotta buy another one. Damn. Well, you know what? My condolences. That's 10% away from last time. Nice. She wants Olive Garden and watch Utopia 2 for the fourth time. What the hell? Valentine's Day sucks. You know, if you have that special someone in your life, it doesn't suck, but that's assuming that the rest of the year wasn't a fucking, a shitty year. I can't believe this dude is just doing. I mean, I know that it works, but it's like you're just doing fucking cold shoulder. License is making this song. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any like. I've never had that sort of like thought cross my mind to be honest, but yeah. Nice. Oh shit, he went light into heavy that time. I'm dead. All I get is a pat on the back, like, in a... Come on, bro. You know. Look, man. Plenty of dudes have said it before. Men don't get appreciated in that way. We don't get told that we're doing a good job, or stuff like that. Not that often. She might as well give me a Flintstones vitamin and apple juice while she's at it. I'm saying. Yeah, women don't appreciate that shit. Women just do not appreciate that shit. They don't, or need that, or they don't know how to like express that shit. I've been there. I've been there. I know exactly what you're talking about. The thing is that we're measured by what we provide, and that part sucks. It takes a very I don't usually talk about this kind of stuff, but it takes a very particular kind of woman, bro, to like... Without going too deep into it, there's other women that will. But it takes a woman that has her head on straight, okay? A woman that has her head on straight. Within that context, it takes a woman... a very particular kind of woman in that bracket of women to be that grateful, because they can like say all manner of things, right? And potentially even like, I think as dudes we just want the fuck, man, I'm trying to collect all my thoughts with regards to this. We just want to be told that we matter, right? We want to feel that from the pretty little lady, that pretty little thing, that, to be honest with you, outside of like uh, I mean, even in this economy, um, they could sit there and just be a pretty little goddamn thing that just belongs to you, and you'd probably be okay with it, with the exception of this fucking economy sucks. Better get your ass to work, lady. You know, whatever comes at home, we need to take care of together, but it takes a very particular lady to, like, be thankful for all the things, all the shit that you put up with, like not only necessarily maybe the shit that goes on at home where, you know, you think that's your sanctuary, that's your peace, but like, the things that you put up with outside of that home and when you're with her. And yeah, they have problems too, and they have things that they worry about, things that we think less of, but by that measure, they don't realize that um, as dudes, we do have some common ground with them when it comes to like feeling oppressed by the outside world, you know? For sure, Ricky. You feel like Al Bundy? Yes, exactly. Nail on the fucking head. Exactly. All right. Wow, that was supposed to be what is it? Command grab. Interesting. same combo every time, huh? Damn. Oh.
Awesome victory!
Okay. Cool. Guessing. He's under control now. Slow down the gameplay.
Awesome victory!
Substantially. Grab it. Light breaks. That desperation hype beam though was kind of intense. I don't think that's definitely a mid, high in the mid. The hype beam, whatever the hell that thing is called. I was able to low profile it into DP. Okay, cool. Sorry. Alright, let's keep going. I was taking care of something real quick. Wow. Oh yeah. wasn't a reaction. Okay. So it was a reaction to the sudden movement. Okay. I see that now. Okay. That's good to know. Alright, ladies and gents, it's going to be the final match of the night. I want to get some food, watch something, maybe watch somebody else play some KI or something else. Okay. Sorry, I was taking care of something at the same time. Welcome back.
Awesome victory.
I gotta wait for this thing to finish downloading, so I might as well, well, I think this thing has about like, maybe like 10, maybe 15 minutes left. I'm downloading some stuff for my PC in the background. That's a big ass file. Well, a few big ass files. I just looked at it and that's, like I said, maybe 10, 15 minutes. I wanted to keep playing, but like at the same time, like I'm hungry and like I'd rather just kind of, like I said, continue to play, but I want to do something else and then hang out with the people. I got people waiting on me. Do I build PCs? I used to. I want to say maybe like 10 years back, something like that. The PC that I got, at this point it's going on, I think like a year and a half ago? Or sorry, no, like a year and like, yeah, probably like a year and a half ago. Almost a year and 3/4. I just ordered it, Ricky. Like, they let you pick the pieces and they build it. Of course they charge you for the labor, but it's a small price to pay to just have this thing delivered and you turn it on and it works, right? I've looked inside and I've done some stuff like I upgraded the SSD and then I installed another SSD like for a slave drive, that sort of thing. And it all seems pretty straightforward. It hasn't changed very much. It's kind of like parts. Outside of the parts, but it's fairly easy. They've made things really easy for you. Why do you ask? I built PCs.
Awesome victory.
Running away, bro. Jumping. Incredible. That's why I don't usually I don't chase down like orchids like that. But man, that is and like I can tell that there's some frustration happening there, but still. That's insane. Cat and mouse tech? Yeah, the thing is that like I've already seen plenty of like what they're doing. I'm not gonna lie, at one point before I had ever seen that person before, they were throwing me for a loop because they weren't doing the standard Yami stuff. I played Yami. And Yami is, I can, without a shadow of a doubt, tell you that Yami's way better than this person. By a stretch. That like, it threw me off. So I was like, what is this person doing? And like, I picked up on some other stuff here and there, and also like how skittish they are, and they're like, you know, mashing their fucking face on the joystick to like get away or do dumb stuff. It's real cute at times, to be honest with you. And this isn't me just, I want to be clear. Like, it's not me like, just sitting there talking shit about the person, man, for the sake of talking shit. I'm telling you basically what, I'm breaking it down in my head, probably in a way where it sounds like I'm downplaying a person. The thing is that you also have to face like reality about where you stand versus other people, right? But like at the same time, I'm saying it in such a way too, where like they might not necessarily appreciate that I'm talking about them that way, and that's okay. Because at that point, I just take a light apart and run block. So comfortable. I mean, it does. That's the thing. Like, it does. People hate it when I do, like, low effort stuff. And it's like, well, yeah, but you're also not forcing me to do stuff, right? Like I said earlier, I'm willing to use my health bar as an actual resource like my shadow. You kind of have to have that mentality playing a character like Thunder. Like, you have to. I'm not quite sure exactly what we were thinking there, but that was interesting. That was a little interesting, not gonna lie. I didn't have any need to break any of those things either. Like, yeah, like I could already tell that the frustration was building and kind of like the worry, but there was no need to break that. I was not sure about standing near me where, had I even done Shadow Command Grab on Wake Up, or I believe even Shadow Ankle Slice, both options would have worked. But a grab is an interesting thing. Like, why would I hold that, right? And I'm an instinct. Or I'm about to be an instinct. Why would I hold a grab? It doesn't make much sense. What do you think is your high competition? I don't know, to be honest with you. Toughest competition, like personally for me, definitely the top players, man. Like, there's people that I run into, like, in ranked that are quote unquote top players, or you know what? Sorry, there's a differentiation between tournament goers and top players. I have trouble with Nate and Charbug. I haven't seen Charbug in a long time, or even know what the hell his gamer tag is. Nate is definitely a tough person to beat. Devil May Care is pretty good, but to be honest with you, Ricky, I think that you're capable of knowing this. Where like you kind of have to put yourself out there with like some of these people. There was a point in time where like some of these players that I run into could literally run away with wins, right? And that was at a consequence of several different things, to be honest with you. I mean, here, let's look for example at this. Bunker Rippers was when I started playing against them. Sorry, Alex. I mean, that's Alex. Alex does, from what I've noticed, and I could be completely wrong about this, but like, he simply does an insane amount of stuff that is awkward and stuff like that. And most of that now is from Arya, right? This guy does a lot of dumb stuff in the moment that just works out. And Arya has that. He's capable of doing that. This is more of flashiness over at least with me, over like something that's deliberate and, you know, very used to my playstyle with gameplay. Yeah, and that's something that you eventually change with time. Alex's Arya is more flash over substance, I would say. The person that can definitely... There's a reason why this person right here, Extreme Zombie, is known as one of the greatest, if not the greatest player. And you can't even just say that it's because of Arya. Arya definitely is part of the equation. But let's not forget who we're talking about here either. Right? This person used to clap my cheeks. Shall. Okay? There's some variables in there that definitely add to that win-loss ratio against them. But in, like, I want to say within the past, like, maybe 4 years, from the start of seeing what he was doing and just being audacious and like, fuck it, I'm gonna hit buttons. This person has to think about situations with his other characters. Out of Arya. And recently I started beating their Arya to where that will slowly but surely become a thing where it'll be back and forth. Doughboy, he used to clap my cheeks, and then I figured out what he was doing, and recently he had like an epiphany hit themselves where they started being able to take me out, ranging anywhere from it was a close match to relative ease. There's a big gap there, and that's something that I have to figure out. Demon I used to be able to tear down, and recently he saw something else. And I think maybe for about like a month or so, on and off, it went from being close. Alex, I can bleed simply because no end up cooking for Rash, yeah. Extreme Zombie, I can take out one of Arya's suits, yeah. I think for about like maybe a month or two, I want to say it was about a month. Like he started doing some different stuff that I wasn't used to, and he started beating the hell out of me. And sort of back and forth, but he would win the sets. And during tournaments, I was able to sort of collect my thoughts. Weirdly enough, the pressure in the moment, it made me see things that I didn't see when I played him in tournament. Yeah, Demon's definitely adjusted. Demon was doing some stuff with Spinal, and also some stuff with TJ, but I would say that that's probably from his perspective. I think that he likes the Spinal matchup just because of what he was doing to me. And I forgot what other characters he uses. The Arbiter is not up there, but definitely doing some weird stuff with Spinal that was defeating me. And like I said, it sucks because the tournament matches weren't actually uploaded. I guess I could upload them myself. And that's probably something that I'll start doing whenever it's like a kind of 50-50 matchup or like a toss-up of some kind, or the matches were hype. The matches were hype in their own right because a lot of crazy stuff was happening. Unfortunately, at this point, those matches are lost to time because they're not in my replays anymore. But I'm going to start doing that. No, it wasn't just Skeleport. Anything from his dive kick, awkward timing on things, stuff like that. And then mix up. Um, there's certain points in time where Spinal can definitely make you feel a little uncomfortable in his mix. Um, so yeah, it was a pretty good set. I think he started off with Fulgore. He didn't like the matchup that much, and I think he stuck to his guns with Spinal. And that was closer. I think I took the. No, he beat me the first game. I went and beat in the second game. No, no, no. Was it 2-1? I think he beat me 2 games in a row, and I came back. I don't remember, but all the matches were good. The thing is, like, they were all close, except for the first Spinal match. Um, that was no like almost no contest. I started seeing the things that he wanted to do, and then the preceding 2 matches for me to take it 3-2 was where um, things got real interesting. That fifth game, um, doing Spinal. Bunker Ripper wasn't a threat at first. Took maybe about a year or two till he started learning kind of the intricacies of guess of his character and kind of the things that I do to overcome the challenges that he's putting forth. Um, these are not. I think the matches snowball for me a lot faster and a lot easier for me than it does for him. But he can beat me. It's not that he can't. It's just, knowledge against him. Because truth be told, he uses Tusku normally against me. I check out some of your previous works of those matches on YouTube. You know what? I only have like 2 or 3 sets on YouTube. I have to start uploading some of this stuff whenever that happens. I think Nate posts some of the stuff on his, but I lost I think a few nights ago I lost to Nate. I think it was like 410 or something like that. Um, but it's me getting like acclimated to his style. Carnitas. Carnitas is a very particular Glacius. Um, I know you guys may see me take out Wrath, and say what you will about Wrath. What you will say about Wrath. I personally don't give a shit. I don't involve myself with calling somebody out on what they do outside of the game or whatever. But for what it's worth, that man has stuck it out, and he enjoys just playing the game. And hey, you can't knock him for that. But he's definitely no Carnitas. With all due respect to Rotendo, Rotendo can't touch Carnitas. This fucking greasy slop Carnitas guy. And I don't say that's a term of endearment. That's me not offending him or whatever. The fucking Carnitas is so good with that character. At one point they were beating me with Fulgore. I worked through that. Their ROM is pretty goddamn scary, I must admit. This person recently, I guess, must have seen something in their own stuff where they started kind of doing certain things or playing like a bot or just doing crazy stuff. I wouldn't say that it's formidable, but it's definitely, I'm pretty sure that it's working against some people. This guy fucking sucks. Okay. Gillette Hotshot used to beat my ass, and then I finally figured him out, and I would say it's about like a 70-30 my favor, or 7-10 the player-to-player matchup. 7-3. Yeah, Carnitas is real slippery. Scramblin is really good against me, but it's only because we haven't played that much, and his style of play is very unique to him in his own right. But I've since started beating him here and there, uh, intermittently. Omega used to be able to beat me like hands down, and then I figured something out against him, and matches range anywhere from being 50-50 toss-up to never a snowball. They're good matches, not in terms of watchability. They're good matches in terms of the decisions that we're making in the moments where, like, things might come down to the wire. Hunter, this person I started beating. They figured something out. And then I started beating them again, and it's been like that ever since. Like, where I think this, particularly for me, is probably like in my favorite like 6-4 player-to-player matchup, they use Cinder. Under the web, I think that this person is. They were crazy for using Sadira. Their Sadira gets taken out with relative ease. The Riptor, on the other hand, is probably their better character and stronger against my particular flavor of Thunder. Chuchu's Rocket, I don't quite remember, but I'm pretty sure that they just play a lot, but they've also discovered some stuff. Quirky Elephant, my Jago beats X split decisions. Yeah, exactly. I believe that this is a ROM player, and they're against me. They do win. I would say it's against my favor. It's not in my favor. I'd say that this is probably like maybe like a 7-3 their favor. The ROM is pretty good. Although I do get some wins here and there. It's not. It doesn't go above my head that they have a powerful ROM. Torami used to really mess me up until I want to say about maybe like 8-9 months back, where I saw the light and I saw what they were doing. They're very audacious on things that they do. Penia Head used to mess me up, figured something out, and now we're kind of at it can snowball either way, but we're kind of at like that. I would say that it's still in their favor in terms of who beats who. Infernal Blondie, and we're not going to talk about that because whatever. Vegan, I think, figured out something recently. They're enjoying the game a lot more, I can tell. It's about maybe, I want to say more recently, maybe like a 6-4 my favor. Hologram, I mean, there's nothing to be said here. Hologram's hologram. This is not, you can't, unless you're one of the tip-top people. Yeah, Tarami's Tusk, yeah. Unless you're the tippity-top people, this person, dude, is... Nobody stays at the top forever. But that's why we love the thing, because we know that that's a thing. The uncertainty of who stays at the top, right? I would still argue that in the grand scheme of things, this isn't me just having bias, because truth be told, he doesn't even use Thunder like that. He has other characters. But I still think that at the end of the day, this is probably, hands down, over the lifespan of this game, this person, Hologram, is going to still be looked at as the apex of what can be done with this game, specifically with the character that he chose to main at first. You just can't. You can't deny that. This is probably the MVP of this game. The terror that this person presented for years before they, didn't play the game as much, is hands down. Everybody talks about it. Everybody knows this guy. The newer people that come into the community hear this name, and they're like, what the fuck is Hologram? What the fuck is this guy? And then they go check out the footage, right? And they see, oh, this person was doing this. And although some of that meta might not apply to today's game, there's still things to take away from those older matches where people are like, not necessarily a deer in the headlights, but those things still work within the context of even today's meta. So that's Hologram. Chloe used to be able to beat the hell out of me. Nowadays, it's not. It's a no contest here. This person has never really gotten a grasp on me, but they have managed to win matches. Black Crimson, don't know. Ultimate FGC is a nutty person in their own right, but they used to avoid me and leave games. Until they stopped, and then they just started doing crazy stuff. And they beat me a few times. The matchup versus the player is definitely my favorite of that. Probably like an 8-10. Seahard has improved over time. I can definitely tell you that. His wolf can be pretty scary at times. Maybe not to a particular person, but Hard has improved quite a bit. Zostali, for a time, would really mess me up with Rash in particular, and then I figured something out there. They started using Eagle. Skater Tortuga is a pretty good player, considering he doesn't participate in any of the tourneys. Takanori is pretty good. But I'd say out of all these people, probably my hardest opponent There isn't just one of them, man. There isn't just one. There's a lot of people here that honestly can give me trouble, and partially it's the character that they're using. Um, Most of the time, with Nate, it's his ability to create moments in the match that seem interesting and sort of gimmicky, but you cannot take anything away from Nate. This lab monster right here, this will be the MVP for lab monsters probably, between him and probably Zombie. Although I think Nate streams more lab stuff than Zombie, but still, this guy ridiculous with every character he touches. I want to say about maybe Shabab Braz used to be able to kick the shit out of me. And then it turned into I can snowball or I can. It's rare that he presents a good match, and that's not to talk shit about him. That's just in general. But life takes over. I get it. Itsune has improved. They were really ass at first, but their wolves come a long way, and even their Arya at times has presented some trouble for me. I think this is Metropolis. What is a good counter pick for Thunder? We've got a few. Arya, Shadow Jago, Mira. I'd say Idol and Gargos to a certain extent, but once Thunder gets in, I mean, it's up to you as a player to stay in, but they can present some problems. The thing is that you have to pick and choose the moments where you have to be patient versus Idol. When Alvaro plays me, for example, this man runs the fuck away. Why does he run away? Well, for one, he doesn't want to give me the chance to touch him. He wants to chip me and do all manner of things from afar where I can't touch him. And it's smart because Idol is powerful in that way. And Rap Dance kind of he doesn't share like he can switch off between doing that and rushing in. I will say that Rap Dance or Metropolis is probably smarter in that sense of like how they decide to dive in for okay, you're gonna stay over there, I'm coming in. His game from that perspective is stronger than Alvaro. Alvaro kind of goes for either gimmicky stuff like jumping around you, and Metropolis does that too. But I would say that Metropolis probably thinks of that situation about what I'm looking for when he's coming in, versus when Alvaro comes in, and I can sort of guess on what Alvaro wants to do. But I remember he used to kick the shit out of me, and then I figured something out, and it's kind of been back and forth for the last few months. I don't remember this person. Yoni used to be much better, I think. There's Alvaro. Bean Machine, never. Jeremy and I want to say Gargumo used to present really strong like options against me to where they would beat me up, but I figured out a way to kind of keep it like 50-50. But yeah, man, there's not one person that's my toughest opposition. Any player will tell you that. I think that Alex is probably in a league of his own at the end of the day, right? When it comes to his play. And although it may be annoying and stuff like that, you can't take it personally because that's not necessarily. You can't judge his personal character by the fucking gameplay. You can't. You also can't really take away. He was playing the same game that we were when Rash was busted. In the same way that people still complain about Arya and potentially Rash, Idol, guess what? We're all at liberty to learn those characters too, and to present the mirror match. So, yeah. Nikki is definitely. I think that Nikki is also in a league of his own. It's unlike the league. All of these top players. So, like, if you're taking people like Alex, you're taking people like Extreme Zombie, you're taking people like Nikki. You know what's crazy? Even probably somebody like Paul B. Paul B, I think he would break under pressure under certain things, but he had some perspective towards the end of him when he would play against some of the top players. Hologram is also in a league of his own. All these players you can have in the same conversation, but they're not in their own. They are in their own league. Nikki is probably one of the first people that probably started presenting the guest breaking, um, where it wasn't as prevalent in ranked play potentially. So people were getting caught off guard. Also, less knowledge about the game. I don't even think at that point, when Nikki was doing all of these tournaments and stuff, there was a point in time where combo breaking training, and that's, to be honest with you, I've never ever touched that, and I've always guessed, and I just recently remembered that that's a thing that the game has. So you can literally go and train for combo breaking, so you can spot the right thing. And the entire time I've been going into training mode, trying to do those moves, and trying to guess, see them manually, which buttons do what. Um, Nikki's in the league of his own. Returning to that, I think Nikki against me, Nikki could fuck me up. Um, but Nikki also kept it fresh, and I think to sort of put a cap on that with Nikki, Nikki's very good at a keeping you guessing type of deal within his own right with what he could do with Fulgore. And I think that in some regards, he learned all of these characters or a lot of the cast as a consequence of what he was doing, showing new players coming in, training. That you could probably say that Nikki superseded his ability, or could have superseded the ability that he had to do play Fulgore. Even though that was a character he preferred, he superseded his own skill with Fulgore, um, or Fulgore skill with other characters like Idol, stuff like that. Which is why when he went to one of the last few tournaments he took it, and it wasn't necessarily a snowball. It was simply that he knew the cast. He knew what people wanted to do. He knew people wanted to, backdash, run away. He knew when people were gonna DP, grab, that sort of deal. So I'd say out of everybody, he's probably the one that he's in top contention for the top 3 players for this game that have ever touched the game. And although Hologram didn't do what Nikki does, granted we don't see either one of them that much anymore. That's why they're in leagues of their own, because Hologram in his own way, I don't know if it's by feel or I'm pretty sure he doesn't check frame data. You could have Nikki and Hologram in that same conversation. The thing is that somebody like Hologram, it's not just the character, it's the decisions that he makes against the decisions that you're making that frustrate you. And by that measure, you might end up fucking hating Hologram, hating the character Thunder, hating fucking Saberwolf or Shadow, whatever he uses. Because there's very few people, I can tell you from personal experience, that with Nikki, I was never quite frustrated. It always felt when I played Nikki, even if I lost, it was a very fair match. Yeah, the mix-ups were there. Heavy hits were there. Nikki knows reads in and out. Right. It still felt doable, even though I wouldn't take many games. Hologram, on the other hand, with any character that he touches, I'd say more often than not, when you have him against the ropes, he's probably more dangerous than Nikki, than Alex, than... And this is something, you know what, now that I think about it, Extreme Zombie and Hologram have that when they're a caged animal, and like I said, they're on the ropes, and you think, I've got this, I'm going to play patient. They will show you that was the wrong decision to make against me. This is not where you should be playing patient. And then guess what? In the moment they play patient, Zombie or Hologram, and they end up pulling out the win. Ankle slice from hell, that too. So all of these things in tandem really, I want to say like these are just observations that I've made. They're not necessarily like what's the word? Uh, they're not necessarily. They might not necessarily even be accurate, to be quite honest with you. Let me at least put some gameplay up. So yeah, it's kind of weird to analyze all the sort of attributes of a person and really like break it down. And I just thought of that right now. I had the idea that hologram and zombie have that ability to be able to do it. Alex, not as much. He can do it, but it feels like there's a higher percentage chance that he might, or that hologram or extreme zombie might do that versus Alex. Yeah, hologram is really good at keeping you in the corner as well as making you feel like you have the opportunity to make a decision, and it's the wrong decision, right? Yeah, and that's the beauty of these damn games, that it's not only the characters, but it's the abilities of particular people, and that's fucking magic. And to be personally, like, perfectly honest, like, it's always easier to recognize other people's things than your own. Like, if somebody was to ask me, what do you do specifically, or what's your strength? I gotta be honest with you, I'm not quite sure. Damn, look at that desync, bro. That's beautiful. I have no idea how I personally, like, do the things that I do. I just do them. I do realize that there's, like, advantages to sort of the way that I play and stuff like that. But I've never, like, stopped to, like, analyze my own gameplay and really be like, well, I mean, I have analyzed my own gameplay, like, to see where I make mistakes and stuff like that. But, like, to say I can call out, yeah, I do this, and this person punishes this properly, that sort of deal it's kind of tough for me. Like, in this particular matchup, for example, like, Glacius, one of the things that I learned to start doing is you have to make a conscious decision every time. The same way that people kind of do things to circumvent Thunder command grab, where they jump or backdash or doing something weird, right? With, like, Glacius, for example, there's a select few people that Wrath is one that does it too. Where when you're right in front of their face and they hit a button and then they go straight into Shatter, the unblockable underneath. Remember that you can always jab them out of that or hit a button. Like, I've done it where even like a footsie range where, like, we don't really know who's gonna reach who. My medium kick actually catches Glacius trying to do Shadow. So, like, little things like that, and a lot of dudes definitely do that. Where, like, they do try to do a Shatter. So, like, little things like that, eventually you end up figuring out. I'm pretty sure you've done it too. That guy Glacius is aggressive. He is super aggressive. That's like somebody's character shining through the character, and obviously there's a mix in there too, but you know people that do that stuff. And, like, for example, like Demon, he might be a decent player, But right here, you can tell where I have the knowledge of like this character. You can tell where Demon, for example, is uncomfortable. Like, this wasn't me showing off or doing anything stupid, like, in regards to, like, him using this character. But I know this character pretty well, as is evidence from, like, you know, years of playing him. And yeah, Demon knows some of these things from, like, watching him do stuff against Thunder. But you can tell that there's a level of uncomfortability here that, you know, just they haven't quite figured out this character, and that's okay. That's the journey. But like, I not only do I like these matchups, I like Thunder Mirror, but it's not scary. This was not scary whatsoever. That was a good DP on it. That was a good jab. My heavy punch was late. He didn't want to jump. Typically with Spinal, he jumps into a situation. So like, right there, he decided to jump while he was like full screen. You know, things like that. But yeah, it's definitely interesting to see. Check this time. Let me check this download. Yeah, my download's complete. I know I didn't play like the last like 40 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever, but I appreciate you guys coming through to watch. I'm gonna call it right here, ladies and gents. I'm gonna grab some food, watch something, maybe catch some Z's. I might see you guys tomorrow, and hopefully if anybody wants to play, ask to play, maybe do a lobby, whatever. And I will be catching you guys in the next one. Ricky, appreciate you coming through to chat me up, dude. Yeah. Let me do this. Let me see. Oh yeah, it's finished for sure. But yeah, I'm gonna call it right here. You guys have a good rest of your evenings, and we'll catch up later. Peace.